These days, teachers are expected to do a lot more than just teach the basics. For instance, in some schools, they are responsible for sex education and other types of counseling. And others complain, how does one balance teaching a love of learning while trying to instill discipline? Here at Burnsville High School, one teacher has been just about everything to his students. Tom Mraz showed by example that every child, regardless of his place in life, could be a richer, more productive person. Tom Mraz dedicated his life to showing students the way. He did it in the classroom, and he did it right here on this stage. Ken Speak has his story.
Thank you. Have fun tonight. How are you doing? Good to see you. Huh?
Well, we missed you
Good.
a whole bunch.
Good. Well, thank you. I hope things are going well. Have fun tonight.
Bye.
There, I know these friends. Have fun with the show.
The show, it's become an institution in Burnsville.
I'm just excited. I'm just ready. I'm ready to go out there. Let's do it.
These are the latest generation to feel the nerves. They had a run of 7 performances ahead of them and a sold-out house to play to.
On the far left section. All right, like 3 or 4 rows out.
For nearly 30 years, they've gotten together like this, a few more each year, to celebrate what's known as showtime. And one reason they celebrate is Tom Mraz. Back in 1963, he knew something was missing in his life. In time, he found it, right here where he taught speech and English.
Yeah! Way to go. Looking good, kids.
Together, Tom and students with the same dreams gave birth to Showtime. Since then, Tom hasn't measured success in money he's made, but in lives he's touched.
There was a line in Diary of Anne Frank that stands out. It's the, I still believe, in spite of everything, people are really good at heart. And I think Tom believed that. That even though the student may be having problems in school, has gotten into difficulty with the law, has messed with drugs, there's still a redeeming value in that individual. And I think that's something that he could see.
He saw it frequently. He saw it in the eyes of children who were neglected or abused at home. Those youngsters learned early that life can be unfair. Tom Mraz taught them it can be lovely, too.
Invariably, we had kids who had some personal problems, had some family problems, and would get into Showtime because it was a family sort of atmosphere. And they had a place to go every day. They had something to do. They felt that somebody cared about them, that they were doing something good.
Hundreds of such students have been saved by Tom Mraz. On a dressing room wall, photographs serve as mileposts to his success. Each student is a Best Actor of the Year. Terry Forboard's picture joined the others in 1968. Friends knew then that he was destined to be successful. They were right about that. Today, he develops land purchases for a Twin Cities construction firm.
I guess it depends on what you mean by successful. The fact that I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I think I'm very successful.
That Terry Forboard is alive and can enjoy the fruits of his labors is remarkable. 10 years ago, he owned a construction company. He made a lot of money and spent it all and then some. Debt hung over him like an ominous November sky. And each morning, he awoke to a nightmare of his own making. Terry was dying a slow death from alcohol and drug abuse. Late one night in 1981, after several days of binging on drugs, Terry sank as low as humanly possible. From a farmhouse near Jordan, his brother Johnny called for help. Terry was near death.
I was scared to go because I thought Terry would meet us at the door with a gun.
He was sitting on a chair backwards, had on his undershorts only, and on a table that was about 3-4 feet away from the stool where he was a revolver.
I was trying to destroy myself. And sure, I mean, that's exactly where I was going.
And he was crying, shaking, hyperventilating, and I thought he was on death's doorstep. I really did.
I believe that I had been probably doing some things with that handgun that weren't very, very smart.
I thought we're too late, you know. So we quickly threw some clothes into a satchel that he had, and I got him in the car.
Well, according to the doctors, in another 20 minutes, I probably wouldn't have been enjoying this evening with you again.
Tom and Ann rushed Terry to a Minneapolis hospital where he was treated for a drug overdose. He later completed a drug rehabilitation program and married.
The outfits look great.
Over the years, Tom Mraz has taken many hurting teenagers into his home. He took Terry Forboard into his heart. Today, Terry is repaying a long-standing debt the only way he knows how.
My love for him, my desire to succeed and make something of myself as a tribute to him. I mean, if I fail in anything that I do, in my mind, I've insulted everything that he's about. Because he wouldn't have accepted it.
You're looking swell. I got this part down. That's the only part I got.
They came from sedate small towns as well as boisterous big cities for a reunion of sorts. Burnsville Showtime alumni got together to work up Hello, Dolly one last time. Showtime was closing down after 28 years of sold-out performances.
There's such a bonding between everyone who has ever been involved in Showtime, and whether they're the graduates from 1964 or 1984, they all have a special bonding to each other and Mr. Mraz, and we just wanted to honor him.
Tom's vision, his persistence, and his inspiration took Showtime to 44 prisons in 14 states. It's because of Tom Mraz that over 600,000 inmates felt the magic, as they say.
The year that I was in Showtime, it was '86, we went to Indiana State Prison. And on our way out, there was a place where we could meet, and the prisoners were in a gate there, in a section. And you could hear them crying, and you could hear everybody, all the guys on our side, everybody crying. And hearing that slam and the echo is something that we'll never forget. You know, it was a really neat experience. And it's too bad that it has to end.
Tom Mraz was preparing his kids for the last Showtime production. You see, Tom Mraz has Parkinson's disease.
In 1980, when the doctors told me that I had Parkinsonism, he said, you should be able to get about 5 good years, and then you're going to have some of the effects that are going to give you trouble. That was in 1980, and it's 1991. I had 6 extra years, and I guess I figured I would have been blessed.
Tom Mraz didn't feel blessed in March of 1991 when his doctor ordered him to retire. Medication no longer controlled the tremors associated with the disease.
And if anything went wrong in his class, or any little new twist came into his teaching program, his tremor would get worse. He sometimes said he had to excuse himself because he'd start shaking so much.
I guess I was upset or irritated, maybe I'm mad at the doctor when he told me about it. Told me what my limitations were. And I wanted him to give me license to go one more time.
Do this for him tonight, because this is the biggest night of his life, and I know it is personally. So I'm going to ask each of you to pull down inside. And do you all have one great performance left in you? Do you? Okay, then pull it out tonight.
Do it.
Right on. Let's have fun.
Come on, let's have fun. More importantly than anything, have fun.
The hardest thing to let go, and it's just murder.
After all the anticipation and preparation, the show, the last of Tom's career, was on. old friends came back for a harvest of memories. Standing in a darkened corner, Tom beamed like a proud father. Others laughed, but there was sadness in their faces. Some wept gently, knowing this could never happen again. And when Tom's kids, their cheeks glistening with tears, took their bows, a sense of finality swept through the house. A teacher and a friend who'd encouraged them to always do their best would do his best to live with Parkinson's disease.